So today's video is kind of a theme that I came up with from a bunch of random stuff that I bought that I really didn't know how to make into a single video, and that would be magnets, making my life easier. Generally, I'm not an organized person, but at work I make myself be organized just because I get frustrated when I can't find stuff and thing isn't in its place, and things with magnets where I can stick them and they'll be there all the time. Makes my life easier. So yeah, I guess just a random stuff that I bought, and we're going to make a video out of it with that magnet theme. First off, we got LTT stores, magnetic loops for cable management and whatnot, and other things we'll take a look into there. Next, we got this Gator Magnetics, which is basically a hook, but it's kind of got a neat little feature to it that we'll look into. And last but not least, this thing, which we'll look at a little bit further on down the line. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, starting off with LTT stores, magnetic arches. If you don't know, LTT stands for Linus Tech Tips. It's a YouTube channel that focuses, oddly enough, on tech, and yeah, they got a little bit of a product line going on there. And one of these things they just came out with these magnetic arches for wire management. Me in particular don't have much use for wire management as far as computer stuff goes. I'm not that fancy, but yeah, we could take a look down on these. We got the big one, we got the smallest one, and we got this here guy for mounting power strips, but I think I'm going to repurpose it for mechanic stuff. So yeah, let's take a look down and see what we got. All right, well, this is the haul I got from the LTT store. Again, we got the arches over here, we got the small arches here, and then we got the power strip mounting devices right here. And one of the things, if you're underneath a desk where you don't have metal, they actually supply you with these little metal strips that would, are they double-sided sticky tape? Let me see, hold on. Yeah, they're actually double-sided sticky tape, so you could stick it up there, put a couple of screws in it, and they actually give you extra screws, which is nice because you can see yourself losing these things. But yeah, if you don't have metal to stick them to, they give you metal to stick them to. And that also applies to the power strip magnets and the small arch magnets. Oh, and I got stickers. Alright, let's start off with the small arches. I got, what is it, 5 in here. Probably more than I need, but I mean, why not? And like I said, these particular ones are just for situations where you got some wires that you just want to run through and keep them cleaned up. Me particularly, I'm not going to use them for that. Currently, I have these little double-sided sticky tape things that you would take a USB cable. Let me get one without unplugging something. Get a USB cable, you kind of snake it in there and it holds it, and you double-sided sticky tape to the side of your desk or what have you. That kind of sucks because you can only get one in them at a time. But what I'm thinking is with these guys, you kind of, especially when I'm doing videos, I might have to charge, a half dozen things: USB-C, USB, or micro USB, and Apple's stupid cable. So I think what I'm going to end up doing with these guys is just taking all my USB cables, micro USB, USB-C, and Apple's stupid cable, and yeah, just kind of stick them all on here, and when I need 1 or 2 or 3, I can just pop them off, take the cables off, and yeah, kind of make my life a little bit easier there. Now, moving on to these magnetic power strip magnets. They call it power bar keys. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're intended to, well, here, let's get them out of the package. These are intended to kind of slot in here And then again, you know, you magnetize them, stick them up underneath your desk, and they're up and out of the way. But kind of what I'm thinking they might be useful for would be these here battery chargers. Let's get these out of the way that everyone's got laying around. You know, maybe stick a magnet on the back of them and slap them up on the lid of the toolbox so they're kind of right there. And I'm thinking what the concept with these are. This kind of slotted little screw here goes up inside there. You tighten it down and voila, it kind of works. So let's kind of give this a look-see. Like that, stick it in there, give it a good twist, and yeah, seems to work pretty good. All right, we got the second one on there. We got my plate. And, yeah, I mean this is meant to be flush mounted, these holes on this thing, but I mean it'll keep it in the right spot. You can plug your batteries in. I'd probably hold on to it if it's magnetized. Pulling the batteries on and off, it'll probably just pull the thing right off of it, the way the batteries are. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I might have to get a second one for my DeWalt's. And last but not least, we got the old large arch, extra large arch, sorry. And yeah, again, it's just a big old plastic arch with 2 neodymium magnets on the bottom of it and the LTT logo. And yeah, I mean, that's it. It's pretty strong magnet on the thing. What I'm kind of hoping to do is to take my extension cord in my truck and my battery jumper cables, which are always getting buried and tangled, looping them through this and kind of hanging it on the door there, and hopefully, I mean, my truck's pretty bouncy in the back, but hopefully it'll hold it in place for me. So I'm kind of curious what kind of pulling force you could resist with these magnets. So I got a little handheld scale. I would call it a fish scale, but that's not what it is. And got a piece of plate steel stuck to the side of the bench with an F-clamp holding it in place so it doesn't want to go anywheres. And this is completely non-scientific test, but it'll give us kind of an idea. These particular clamps, when I'm using them at work, I'm going to be hanging vertically on the door, so I'm kind of curious what they can resist as far as pulling force in this direction. So I'm just kind of put the hook around this, and yes, we are zeroed out, and let's see where we get. You know, let me move that back a little bit. All right, I got it set back a little bit just so we get a better pull on it. And we are zeroed. Let's give it a pull. 15 pounds, I think I saw there. And just for the heck of it, let's try the little one. We're looking at about 5 pounds in that direction. All right, and now just for pulling straight off the face of it in that direction, we'll try it with a piece of angle iron. Same setup, just bolt it to the side, but we're going to pull this way instead. And I'm going to need a loop because I'm not going to be pulling on that even. Hold on one second. And I'll move the camera up so you guys can see. We are zeroed. And let's give her a yank. I'm going to call that all of 27 pounds. Let's try it again. Yeah, I was like 27.8, which that's pretty good for that little guy. Now let's try the little guy. This one, the hook goes all the way through. Give her a tug. look like about 9 pounds to me. Yeah, 9-10 pounds. So, not bad. Now, moving on. Gator Magnetics. Just saw these guys advertised somewhere. I think it was on IG or something like that. And basically what it is, it's just a skookum magnet with a set of hooks on it that you can hang things on. It's got a cool release thing. And, yeah, let's take a look down and see what we think about it. This particular thing I didn't really buy with any use for it in mind, but I thought maybe you guys would be interested in it. So, as I mentioned, Gator Magnetics. It's just basically a hook with a magnet on the end of it. Little brochure thanking me for my purchase, some more packaging, and I bought the 3-pack. They sell these, I think, by one individual one, 3s, 6s, all that kind of jazz there. And yeah, I mean, basically what it is, it's a 25-pound hook that's magnetized, and what it does is you come over here, you lower this lever down, snap it in place, and yeah, that guy's attached. Oh, and that thing is on there. I can't even slip that. I did see in their little promo that they do something goofy with their magnet, and what they do is they program the magnet so there's north and south poles all throughout it, which resist sliding force on it. Got a little bit of magnetic film here, and heck yeah, look at that, a bunch of little circles in there, even smaller ones down at the bottom. That is pretty cool. I like that a lot. And again, I mean, once you flip that lever down on that thing, it is not moving. Holy smokes. And then this guy just kind of cantilevers the magnet and pulls it off of it, and then you can take it off. That is pretty cool. I could definitely see that coming in handy. You got like a storage cabinet or something like that, hanging hoses on it. I like that. That is cool. And last but not least, we got this, just a generic thread gauge checker, I guess you would call it. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you guys have used these before, but we'll take a look down on it anyway, and I'll tell you why I bought it. Anyone who's ever been near a bolt cabinet would have seen one of these. I gotta be honest, I was in the shop, I dropped a nut, and normally if I'm looking for a bolt or a nut while I'm out on the road, I gotta get my thread gauges, and I've had these for years. I couldn't even tell you where I got them from. Or you gotta open up the thread kit and then check the gauges, and then measure the bolt, which is kind of a pain in the butt. And it's just so much nicer to be able to, you know, take a bolt that you know that'll work and you screw it into the thing. I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, and I did, this is kind of it's an aluminum plate with steel bolts on it, and I know just this thing sitting in a toolbox somewhere is going to get all scratched up, so I went on Amazon and I found me some of these big old neodymium magnets. It came in a 4-pack. I almost said I didn't know what thread size they are when I got one sitting right in front of me. It's probably, it's a 6-1 6-1.0 thread. And yeah, I figured it'd be cool to just kind of, you know, buy this with the magnets and slap it on the side of the box, and if I need a bolt, figure out what size it is, I could just come over here and do it the easy way. I will say that these magnets were a little big for the mounting holes on the thing, so I kind of had to give her a go with the old Milwaukee rotary tool to blow the holes out. But aside from that, yeah, not much going on with this. So that's about it as far as, you know, taking a close look at all these things. So what do you say we just kind of go out to the work truck and put these things in use? So let's start off with the easy one here, right on the side of the toolbox. Awesome. So this is what I'm actually going to use it for, which is just this, I don't know, 30-foot extension for my air hose. I'm kind of curious. I got I don't know, probably 60 foot of 1/0 welding cable for my welder in here. Probably weighs more than my little fish scale can handle because it goes goofy when I try to weigh it. But yeah, let's see if it can actually hold that. Again, this thing's only rated for 25 pounds. Lost the loop. Well, there we go. It's holding it. It definitely wouldn't last sitting back here in the back of the van bouncing. These would just bend out of the way, but yeah, it's holding it. Cool. Now, finally, the LTT extra large arches. I got my extension cord sitting here, and my jumper cable's up here. Kind of hoping they'll hold it. I mean, things bounce around so much in the back of this truck, you never know, but if it works, it works, and that would be awesome, because then, you know, when I need these things, I don't have to dig them out and untangle them. So, yeah, pretty cool. So there we go. That's magnets making my life a little bit easier. The LTT magnetic arches, the little guys, they'll be great for holding up my hundreds of USB cables I use all the time. The big one, for the cords in the back, like I said, on a cabinet, I'm sure those cords would be up there all day, no problem. We'll see how they hold up bouncing in the back of my truck for a couple of days. I could also put a little teeny bit of rubber on those, kind of give them a little bit more friction to hold on to the door, but we'll see. Like I said, I just thought it'd be a good idea. Another thing I was thinking too, sometimes you find yourself welding like high up, and you got to have that cable slumped over your shoulder so it's not pulling on the stinger when you're welding. I think one of these might actually come in handy for when you're welding like that. Just kind of put that up there, hang a loop around it, and let this thing hold the weight of that cable while you're trying to weld. I don't know, just something I just thought of that just now. The Gator hook, magnetic hook thing. As far as shocking or surprises in this video, the amount of hold this little thing has, resisting sliding going down is pretty good. I've had other magnetic hooks that just don't work, and you know, they kind of walk down over time, and this thing's got a nice grip on it. As far as holding up that hose in the back of the truck, I don't see it ever being a problem, and I'm sure I'll find something else for the other two that I bought. And last but not least was the bolt and nut gauge that's currently stuck to the side of my toolbox. I just kind of threw that in there. Like I said, it was one of those things. It's like, why only people with bolt bins can have one of them? Why can't I have one? And yeah, that'll save me some time in the future. So that's my thing. I always try to think of small ways to improve your life or the way you work. And you know, you do a little bit of improvement every once in a while, and then, you know, before the end of the year, your job's a lot easier, and you're happier, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of where we're going at with this. The Gator and the bolt gauge, I got that off Amazon. I could definitely link those. The LTT stuff, I think he does have an Amazon thing. If not, maybe a YouTube thing. Either way, I'll link his channel in the description there, and he's got a shop link to his channel. You can go over and check that. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comments section. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.